Something we don't know
It's
about.
created a bit of uncertainty about his number one. Goalkeepers want to be trusted.
Okay, we'll be on drive in a moment if we don't get a move on. Laura, is that you done for the day?
Yeah, I think so. Why not?
Well, hang about if you want.
Yeah, I might do. Might get some breakfast. Do you want some?
I think you'll find little Tony's brown sauce on his top left lip. He's had some. 2 minutes to 9.
The talkSPORT clips of the week.
Yes, well, when one of us is off, we don't do a fresh batch, but you can keep sending them in, of course, and we'll give you the details later because when Andy returns, we will be bringing you.
Oh, that'll be a bumper
clips.
one, won't it?
It will be. We often, we have to plough through those, but keep sending them in because you will get a credit as always. But when one of us is off, we do a bit of a special. And we decided this time to do a Jim White special. It's Fine Show Jim, of course, with Natalie, 10 to 1, Monday to Friday. And so it's a Duchâtelet and Fahad Mashiri free zone this afternoon. But we will kick off with Jim at a bit of old school innuendo.
Lisa, just on this situation with Johanna Konta, I mean, the old poll exploded this morning.
Whatever gets you through the day, Jim, I guess. On a similar theme, we were surprised to hear Jim come out with this one when he was chatting to a listener.
He launches it down the road, I launch it back to him. We just have to mind the cars, that's all.
Yeah, there is nothing better, though, than whacking one off the roof of a car.
There we are. That's beautiful.
He knows what he likes.
Yep. Here's Jim with regular guest, the former Crystal Palace owner, Simon Jordan.
Some of the pure Arsenal fans that are sat there watching the game with their hampers are not necessarily the kind of support you want per se anyway.
Yeah. Roy Keane's prawn crackers brigade.
Well, I'm sure they have prawn crackers as well.
Absolutely right.
They probably have
some of the worst, don't they?
Chinese buffet they probably have up there in the boxes.
Roy Keane hated them, didn't he? This is Jim really keeping us guessing about which club he was going to talk about.
Here we go with Leeds United. We're gonna give the boys a hand. Stand up and sing for Leeds United. They are the greatest in the land. Every day we're all gonna say we love you.
Bob, Tony, we're talking Leeds United.
Get out of here. Never would have guessed.
Teasing us,
Yeah,
aren't
he
you?
was. Is it A, Leeds United, B, here's Jim having a lovely conversation with himself.
That is then, this is now, or in fact, to be more accurate, yesterday.
Yeah, indeed. Or was it?
Now, Jim always gets the big name guests, doesn't he? But listening to this interview, we're not entirely sure he's a big fan of Dick Advocaat.
They could take the counter-attack, and that works out very well.
Dick, I want to ask you specifically.
Bit harsh.
Sometimes. But so, some guests you have to put your arm around them. Sometimes you have to give them a kick
Not a
up the
Celtic
backside.
fan either.
Yeah.
Staying with big name guests, here's our mid-morning host chatting to the Arsenal legend Kanu.
It's my understanding you've also managed to build 5 hospitals around Africa. Is that right?
No, it's not right.
Good question for anyone. Yeah. Should check with everyone, shouldn't you? Because when finally someone says yes, then what a great story you've got there.
Kanu Puts You Right, our new series.
This is Jim celebrating the birthday of a musical legend and going full Alan Partridge.
What indeed? Tina Turner.
Aha! What indeed? The listeners obviously form a big part of Jim's show, and here he is talking to a caller.
Phil, you're a West Brom fan. Phil, good morning.
Morning, Jim. Morning.
Hello.
Morning, Phil.
Phil, without me putting words in your mouth, I've never spoken to you before in my life, have you? Have I?
Yes.
Right.
Last week.
Sorry?
Yes, last week.
Oh, fantastic. Is that your card? 5 of diamonds. We've never met, have we? Yeah, very good.
Now, this is a really good one. Here is Jim with some extremely surprising breaking news.
Now then, 12 noon, we are still digesting Keith Harris.
It would take you a couple of hours, wouldn't you, if you think about it? You start at 10.
It's quite a big
half an hour to finish him off, and then
it's a
an hour and a half. You need a lie down, wouldn't you?
It's a huge job. Jim now chatting to former Leeds and Blackpool manager Simon Grayson.
I've been to quite a few concerts over the last few weeks. I like my music, so I've been out watching The Killers, Kasabian, and a few other concerts like that.
What sort of music are you into?
You know, Killers, Kasabian, that kind of thing, really.
Here's Jim with news of a quite spectacular competition.
I wish I was the lucky contestant in this one, Natalie. Today on talkSPORT, we're giving away one lucky listener.
Okay. I hope they got permission. I mean, can you get away with that?
It's a dangerous station to listen to, isn't it?
It is.
You suddenly find out what's
At
happened to
any
you.
point, as a listener to this station, you can be given away by Jim White.
Gab Cancello has been given to a family in Dorset.
That's right.
Guy.
He's got all sort of menial tasks. Anyway, this is Jim here with quite a disturbing train of thought.
Paul, the Liverpool fan, thanks so much. All happens, doesn't it? I've got this mental image of him dropping a load on somebody.
Have you really? Well, get that right out of your mind.
That's lovely. This is Jim with regular co-host Bob Mills.
A year on from now, almost to the day, in actual fact, Bob, what am I talking? I'm talking Tokyo. I'm talking the Olympic Games. Can you believe that?
Absolutely.
It's come round again.
Roll on.
Roll on.
Well, yeah, we actually, to be fair, we did think there was something missing there.
A year on from now, almost to the day, in actual fact, Bob, what am I talking? I'm talking Tokyo. I'm talking the Olympic Games. Can you believe that?
Absolutely.
It's come round again.
Roll on.
Roll on. Du Châtelet.
Yeah, we said it was a Du Châtelet free zone, but it wasn't completely.
Now, concentrate on this one. Tennis legend Barry Cowan on the show with Jim. That is Barry Cowan, in case you forget during their conversation.
Do you have to look at yourself a little bit, Barry, about how you cope with these big points? But there were key points when you, perhaps, Barry, could have done better, Barry.
It's a bit like a teacher. Boy, wasn't it? Barry. Jim now chatting to football agent Rachel Anderson, who at one point represented the legendary West Ham left back, also went to Liverpool, of course.
So where did it go from there then? You took over Julian's business interest, lock, stock and barrel, and you did deals for dicks.
That's a heck of a business, isn't it?
It's quite the accusation, really, isn't it? Here is Jim with Leeds, Andrea Redrizzani, getting a bit repetitive.
I can say we have chance to keep him. We'll see. Next few days will be decisive, and we will make an announcement. We will see next few days.
You have a chance to keep him, and the next few days are decisive.
Yes.
Yes, it's basically translating from the English into the English. And finally, it's Jim talking Scottish football.
This is so crucially important for Celtic because it's a Champions League playoff double header. They've got to get through this. They've got to get through it.
Yeah, did remind us of something.
It did, yeah.
They've got to get through this. They've got to get through it.
Beautiful. There's your Jim White special. We'll have a special for you next week.
A sporting moment will begin with I was ringside when Chris Eubank took on Nigel Benn in Manchester. Eubank jumped over the ropes to the tune of Simply the Best. And